Ask and you shall receive. Y'all ask for it. So here it is. Truth Carpet, the podcast. I am Simone Loud and I am with my best friend.
Unique love, the bestest friend ever.
She all right. She'll do.
I'm more than already. Don't try to play me.
I mean, she been all right since 2008. We've been together this long. She stuck with me for life. So, I mean, you know how that go.
I guess the Urban Dictionary got a different definition of I, but here we are, y'all.
Alrighty, welcome. If this is your first time joining us, we usually do this on IG Live, but we have upped our game and have transitioned over into the podcast world based on y'all requests, because that's how y'all want to hear us. That's how y'all want to interact with us. So we are here to give y'all this special podcast. What is Truth Carpet? I know y'all want to know what it is. Yeah. Go ahead and explain to them what Truth Carpet is and where it came from.
Okay, so Simone already mentioned that we've known each other since 2008. So when we were suite mates at CAU Suites, we had this room. It was pink, green, and orange, based off of our favorite colors. Nothing else. I promise, it's nothing else. And we had this carpet in our room, basically to blend our colors together. There was pink, green, orange, and some other cute little colors in it that sat in the middle of our room. And I don't know how it started, but oddly, out of nowhere, myself, Simone, and some other friends that we had would always find this carpet to be our meeting spot. We'll always sit there and talk about boys, talk about classes, talk about missing home, talk about just different things that was going on in life and on campus in general. And I don't know whose idea it was, but we just started to call it Truth Carpet. It was our carpet where we decided to open up, support one another, and sometimes whatever was talked about on this carpet stayed on this carpet. It was our little college Las Vegas. So we are transitioning that college literal carpet to a virtual or like a podcast kind of thing where we will be coming to you bi-weekly or maybe weekly. We don't know. We'll see how you like it. We'll see how we love it here in this virtual podcast world. But we will be discussing things as far as things that's going on in our real world, silly things or crazy things that we see on social media, dating advice, dating experiences. I mean, if you've seen our IG Live, you saw we went there and we go there with our topics.
We ain't scared.
Yeah, we're not scared. I used to be really timid about talking about this stuff, but it is what it is. Because people can relate, and that's what makes it exciting. So our virtual Truth Carpet will be here. I'm moving like this used to be moving because I'm thinking about Atlanta's carpet. I mean, not Atlanta, Aladdin's carpet. But anyway, that's pretty much what Truth Carpet is, and I'm excited to be doing this with my best friend and to be coming to you all so that you all can let us play with your ears every now and again.
What's up, y'all? This is LoveLoudd LLC, and welcome to the very first podcast episode for Truth Carpet. If you're usually following us on IG, then you know that this is technically our 5th episode. But because you ask and you shall receive, we have now transitioned into the podcast world for this episode of Truth Carpet. We hope that you like it. So today on Truth Carpet, our dorm story is going to segue into dorm parties, club parties, our favorite memories, the music, all of that in regards to what we liked about clubbing at Clark Atlanta University. Next up, we have our poetic suite. Suite 223 will be reciting Trust Fall from Volume 2 of our book, Love Loud Poetry. And for our hot topics, we'll be talking about dating shows, what we like about them, what we don't like about them. Will we be on dating shows? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Then we have a scenario where we dig deep into scenarios from our favorite dating shows, Married at First Sight, as well as Love is Blind. And then we have a few announcements that we don't want y'all to forget about, so make sure y'all are tuned in all the way to the end of this episode. Girl, dorm stories, what's poppin'?
We are going to be talking about memories regarding partying at our illustrious Clark Atlanta University, but college in general, I guess. Like many of you listeners may have the same experiences that we have had, but not the specifics of what we endured while we were partying. So, when I think partying at a college or my experience, I always think about the student center. And let me just say this little tidbit. So when I was in high school, I was never the girl who like went to parties, street team parties, little club for teens, nothing like that. Like I never snuck into anything. So partying for me all started while I was in college. So I think about um, the student center, how the Greeks will host parties and do things like that. I'm specifically right now thinking about St. Jude's. Just at a black college, it was just so much fun. Like we went there thinking that it was going to be us. Well, they told us we were just going to be sitting down there, possibly playing games and filling out paperwork, like envelopes or whatever, to collect donations for St. Jude's. All of a sudden, while we're sitting there, the Greeks start coming in, they're stepping, they're strolling. We like, not like hi, they hi, okay. And it just turned into a big freshman and Greek party. And I think all of this was happening like during freshman week, which is like before all of the upperclassmen come to school. So that's my like first memory that I had thinking about the freshman year of partying.
First thing I think about when I think about parties or clubbing, I should say, are the shuttle buses.
Okay.
Having to go to the club, be there, you partying, having a good time, and all of a sudden you hear, all right, if you on the AUC shuttle, last one leaves in 15 minutes. Last shuttle leaves in 15 minutes. And you see like more than half the party leave to catch that last shuttle bus to make sure that you make it back to your dorm. Because we didn't have Uber, we didn't have Lyft back then.
Right.
And you didn't want to pay for a cab.
The crazy thing is, the last shuttle was the best shuttle to take because the first shuttle, I swear, like that call was like at 8 p.m. Bruh, we just got there. Like, ain't nobody trying to leave the party at 8 p.m. Like, we trying to have fun. We trying to wait for our favorite song to come on before we leave this party. Like,
right.
About to hop on the shuttle.
Plus, the club don't start jumping out there until it was like, what, midnight, 1 o'clock? Because they stayed open a little later.
Girl. Yeah.
You wanted to be out.
All night. Yes. What else do you think about when you think about party?
Oh, I got one for you. So Olive Branch. So Olive Branch is before the school year even starts, freshman year, where Spelman, Morehouse, and Clark Atlanta University all came together. It was on Morehouse campus. And it was basically like an event to introduce us to the college life as a collective. Since we're all, within the AUC area, as a way to get to know each other before school actually started. So I enjoyed that aspect a lot because it was a way to get to know people that weren't actually like on the campus with you. Mm-hmm. So before we even got to the party aspect of it, it was informative, and it was I literally can't remember everything that happened while we were there, but I like being in the environment around all these beautiful Black young people.
Yeah, all these beautiful freshmen.
Right. Fresh booties.
Orientation guys.
Right. But that party, that was the first college party, and it was lit. It was lit. Like it was like the best way to like tee off the college experience in regards to letting loose and having a good time.
Yeah. That was a fun party, and for me it was unexpected. Cause like you hear upperclassmen, cause if you know me, my family went to Clark Atlanta too, so they kind of like told me some of what to expect, but not all of what to expect. So when we got there, I'm like, well, I thought this was gonna be a little party, but we're sitting there and hearing people give speeches and stuff, and then it turned to a party, and I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah, but that was definitely a big memory, and I thought that was really beautiful too because before going to college, you just think of Clark Atlanta, Morehouse, and Spelman being rivals. Like a lot of people, quote unquote, didn't give respect to Clark Atlanta. Like I hate that. I mean, I love that we're talking about this topic, partying, but a lot of people depict Clark Atlanta as a party school. So it's like just for them to have this olive branch between us and to bring us all together, like we're all a family. We basically all kind of share one campus, so here's your chance to mix and mingle and not have that thought or negative thoughts about one another. We're all family basically. So I thought that was cool and a beautiful thing that they did for us.
Ooh, question. So,
What?
what is the first song that comes to mind when you think of college? The first one that popped into your
Man, I got that
head.
swag. My handbag is my
Hey,
bag.
you know
You
I'm
know I'm
popping
popping
tag.
tag. Hey,
Cause man, I got that
hey. So
swag.
when I say,
I
I
love
want
this
to be
having
there.
swag. Hey. Nobody
That's
does
the first
swag
song.
serve like Clark Atlanta University does the swag serve.
Yes, yes. I love that little dance because just exactly what you said. You know who went to Clark Atlanta. It was like so they always said, you don't go to Clark Atlanta if you ask for your student ID and they start with a different number. It's always a 900 number. And then the other thing that we came up with, you know who goes to Clark Atlanta by how they swag surf.
Right.
So even thinking about swag surf and just mixing it up with partying, I'm thinking about how we had Market Thursdays, I think it was called. But even before that was like big and like into things started going on in campus. Sorry, on campus. It just seemed like that fall, in through the winter too. Sometimes it was just always something going on campus.
Mm-hmm.
There was almost always a DJ in front of the student center playing music. Like you come from class and there's just something always going on just to lift your spirits up. But yeah, I definitely think about swag surf. I think about the Dougie.
Oh,
Um,
the Dougie.
why are you
Bang.
moving your shoulders like that?
Because okay, first of all, when the Dougie first came out, I didn't know how to do it, and I spent time, and a lot of effort to learn how to do the Dougie because before I came to college, like dancing was my thing, and I was always up on how to do all the dances. So when Dougie came out, I'm like, how do I not know how to do this? Girl, the struggle was real, trying to figure out how to do the Dougie in the
Stiff.
mirror. I know how to do it now. And then once I figured it out and added my little Cali swag on it, yo, you couldn't tell me nothing. Everybody thought I was from down south. And I'm like, nah,
Yeah, I was about
baby.
to say you had it like a Texas swag on it.
I did. I
Yeah.
did. And I was like, no, I'm from Cali. Oakland, California to be exact. Dip.
And yeah, and then it seemed like a lot of songs after that came out. It was like the same little Dougie little movement, but it was a different song that goes to like we knew all the little songs that went with all the little dances. It was so cute.
It seemed like we were just there. It
Yeah.
feels like we were just there. That's the crazy part.
And when I think about now versus when we were in college, like when you just said, I'm like, okay, we had, to me, it felt like fun dances. I'm not sure to Generation Z and X, they feel like it's fun dances too, but it's like more structured TikTok dances now opposed to like relaxing and having fun. Like, remember that dance when we were like cooking food and feeding each other?
Yeah.
Like, more interactive dances and everything opposed to like coming up with cheerleading moves and so stiff and whatever and all that, whatever, just to get a like or whatever. I don't know, whatever. I'm not gonna bash them or anything, but it was just so much fun being black and being proud and black and enjoying the music that we had, everything. I don't know, and it was kind of. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of weird for me when I first got to college because I'm from Jersey and I'm used to hearing as a teenager. I'm used to hearing Jersey club music. So at first, the suit and center parties, I was like, "What is this garbage that they're playing? Like, ew, like." Mm-mm. And then you'll see like different people, like, okay, West Coast, okay, Louisiana, okay, DC, whatever kind of music that DC. What's the kind of music that they play in DC again?
It's shoot. It's a live band
Yeah,
music.
I
What
see
is
you moving that
I
thing,
know
but
what I'm trying to think of what the genre is called, but what's the music with the live
yeah, go. Like
go
I can
music.
kind of get with it now, but at that time, all the music I was like, nope, it ain't club music. I was just holding up the walls, y'all. But then as time go by, and then I start to associate it with different people from different states and everything. I was like, okay, I can feel this music now. Never go until now. I could probably listen to some go, but I was like, oh, okay, you. I just feel like you just kind of like mix and mend all those things. To one point for me, I could never tell you kind of where all these songs are coming from. I can tell you Jersey Club, but other than that, I don't know. So while you were talking earlier, I did think about this. We were living in Heritage. I don't know if it was sophomore, junior year, and y'all were getting ready to go to a party, and y'all were trying to get me to go. I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. So y'all got dressed, went to the party. I swear it was like 10 minutes or 5 minutes later, y'all came right back. It was you, PC, Tasha, and other people. I can't remember all who went. And y'all just like ran inside the room. I was like, wait, what the heck? Y'all got from the party fast. If y'all was at that party, remember when the floor broke in?
Oh my gosh. Yes. We
Tell us the story. Tell us the
Okay,
story.
so Atlanta houses, some of them have like these porches, like wooden porches, wooden floorboards on the inside of the house. So this party was packed. When I say packed, it was people on the lawn, it was people on the porch, it was people in the living room, it was people in bed, like
Dang.
literally wall to wall. It was so packed, like you couldn't
Like Chris
even.
Brown. Blah, blah.
Exactly. You couldn't even enjoy having a good time because you spent majority of your time maneuvering through people. There was no dance room. It was literally a sweatbox. So we're like, you know what? We can't stay here. We got to go. We literally left out of the party. As soon as we left and got across the street, the porch fell in. I know for a fact
Like
the porch fell in.
kaboom.
I don't know if the living room floor had fell in. I wouldn't be surprised if that had fell in too. But it literally had fell in. We left by the skin of our teeth by not being those people that got injured at that party. We're like, OMG. Yo, I can't believe I forgot about that. Like
Y'all,
we were like, what
mind you,
the hell?
this was not on campus. This was not on campus. It was like on the outskirts of the campus at a just how you see on like the movie ATL, one of those little tiny little country looking houses. That's what Simone was at
But
trying to
it was
party.
near campus. Like All right, y'all. So we are segueing into Suite 223, where we are going to be reciting Trust Fall, which you can find in Volume 2 of Love Loud Poetry. The smile that comes across my face when you come across my mind is an instant glow. A luminous light that cannot be denied. Butterflies flutter in my heart, always racing when you're near. The sound of your name sends endorphins to my brain. My tongue gets tied, impossible to explain. Expression through words, writing it down seems easy. When you hold my hand, I feel safe, appeasing. You greet me, and our embrace lasts a lifetime. I look in your eyes, and no time has passed by. Into forever, I'm ready to dive, trusting you with my heart. In your hands, I leave my fervor. You embody the meaning of never say never. Your equanimity sets you apart, a mutual understanding to keep love alive from the start.
My heart darts, leaping for joy from my chest parentheses into the grasp of your hands, feeling at home while in your possession. My nostrils, they dance up and down your collarbone, mesmerized by his greatest obsession. Your scent, your glow, your confidence takes control of me, a hold of me, the whole of me, consoling me without any use of your words, hands, or lips. But your being takes me higher, an effortless arousal of pleasure. So forever in this endeavor, I pray you hold me close, because at this point, I yearn, I crave, I need more than just a simple dose of your love.
Yes. Oh, one of my
Yes,
favorites. I love this one.
that's definitely one of my favorite poems. So, I like to ask you,
Okay, I'm
girl,
ready.
what was your part of this poem about?
This piece was most definitely not written about any specific guy. I didn't have a muse. I mean, I guess
Okay, no muse, no
I guess
muse.
it has to be a muse, it's a guy that I made up in my head, like my ideal love, the person that I can see myself waking up to every morning, the man that I want to see when I walk down the aisle, the person I can
Okay.
see me taking vacations with, like the person that I know I deserve and that's going to treat me well, the person that is going to find me one day. Cause I'm not out here looking for no man. We don't look for them. They come to us. But no, say
That's what the Bible says,
hey.
girl.
So but yeah, I wrote it about my truth, my ideal guy, my future man. What about you?
The face you make when you say man.
Man.
Yes, the eyebrows and everything. So this is an original piece by Simone and I, and she read her part and I read mine. My part, it's basically the same thing. I typically, when I'm writing, I have a muse. I may add some extra pieces to it or whatever, but we wrote this poem. Actually, worked on this book when we were both single, and I think at that time I wasn't even dating anyone, so I didn't have a muse at all. I just wrote about what I can expect. I remember sitting there writing and just envisioning like everything that I talked about, like my nose going up and down his collarbone, and just his sin, his aura, all those things is just what I would depict for my quote unquote perfect guy. So just exactly what you just said, everything that I would want in a relationship or from a man, that just being around him, what I envisioned, that's what I wrote about. So yeah.
Come on, girl. We better manifest. You know what I'm saying? We better
That
manifest. Manifest
manifest.
that man of
Yes.
God. Oh my gosh, man sent by God, man sent by the universe. Whatever you believe in. Shoot, the man that's meant for you.
Man is meant for
Manifest
me.
that.
Manifest it,
Ooh,
please.
manifest that man. Manifest that
Bah,
man.
bah,
Manifest
bah,
that man.
bah,
Manifest
bah,
that man.
bah.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, speaking of manifesting men, let's go ahead and segue into the hot topics of the day.
Yes, girl. Let's do it. Hot topics. Simone, would you want to be casted on a dating show?
Yes. Unique, to answer
Okay.
your question, I would, yes, I would be on a dating show. Not just any dating show, though,
Okay.
because I can't be on all of them, but most specifically, I would be on Love is Blind, which is a new dating show that was recently released on Netflix, 2 seasons in. And basically, what happens on
Mm-hmm.
that show, it's one person, whether a man or woman, that goes on a date with 5 different people, but they're all blind dates. So they have drinks, dinner, and if they really like them, they go for drinks again at the end of the night, and then they decide out of those 5 who do they want to go on a second date with, and the show ends with them going on their second
That's
date.
dating around. Dating around.
Oh shoot, you right, dating around. You know what? It's
Yeah.
right here in front of me. Like I'm most what did I say?
You said
I'm
Love is
definitely not
Blind.
going on that show. Absolutely not.
What?
No,
No.
no, no,
Oh my
no.
god. Okay, so you'll go on dating around. Why would you go? What makes you choose dating around?
Because it's pretty much what dating already is. Like I'm going on 5 dates. They just happen to be blind. We get to know each other. I decide whether
The dates are blind. The people are not
yes,
blind.
the date
I know. I just had to say that.
the dates are blind. They can see me, I can see them. And it's similar to what regular dating is. You get to know someone, you decide whether or not you like them enough to go, to want to see them again. Which is why I like it. I see no reason as to why, I can't try to have the experience in regards to that particular show. Plus, it like they be going to some really nice restaurants.
They do.
But because even though specifically like for first dates, I prefer not to go to a restaurant and speak over a table. But in regards to that experience, that's one show as of right now that's out that I will most definitely go on. Because like I said, Love is Blind. I'm not mad I screwed that up, but
It's
Love is
okay.
Blind. I would not.
Dang, you shading my show, bro.
I mean, I love it. I'm just not about to be engaged with somebody I have never actually seen. Like I come out engaged.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Before you even see the person, yep.
Mm-mm.
So since you're shading my show, I guess I'm making it obvious which one of my options are to be on, like which show I would choose to be on. So yes, I would go on a dating show. Would I go now at this age? No, but I would go probably like when I hit 34, 35. Like I feel like I might be like, okay, I done tried this dating thing for 34, 35 years, and obviously I'm not succeeding. So maybe I need y'all help. So I would go on either Love is Blind or Married at First Sight. And the reason that I choose those shows is because, yes, it's scary. It's scary as hell, like thinking, okay, I'm about to go on this show. Either way, I'm about to end up, if I choose to end up with somebody, married or engaged already off the jump. Like, I don't even know your favorite color, your mama name, where you from, if you got degrees or not, what you look like, what you smell like, nothing. And like, I'm just coming out of a pod for Love is Blind, engaged with you. Well, you may know information for Love is Blind because I think it's like a week or so that you get to like be in the pods and like having blind dates, like literally blind dates. But then married at first sight, you just walk down the aisle, and that's the first time you see this person that you're about to marry on that day. But I feel like if I'm on a dating show, I just want to get straight to it. If I'm going on dating around or any other show, I feel like that's what I'm doing. Just what you said, that's what I'm doing already. And I kind of like, if I go on a dating show, I want something that's going to speed up that process. And I feel like, yes, Love is Blind and Married at First Sight can be scary, but it's kind of like pushing me to that part where I want to be, which is in a long-lasting relationship with somebody.
Now, Married at First Sight, somewhere down along the line, maybe 35. I'll do Married at First Sight, because if I'm gonna do it, might as well just be all in. Like, ain't no reason to come out engaged. Like, might as well just walk down the aisle. Mm-hmm. I do. And go along with it. I do. But more so because they have the professionals that match you with someone. So you have the sociologist, the marriage counselor, and the psychologist. So with those three combined, and then asking you questions, asking potential partners questions, and then matching you for specific reasons, and you having to figure that out, I can see myself being in that process. Like, okay, they matched us for a reason. Let's try to figure this out. I'm only trying to be married once. I don't want to do this again, so we're going to have to try to figure this out.
Real fast.
Right. Fast. So from that aspect, I can most definitely see myself doing that show. Like, if I'm going to do it, might as well go all in. You feel me? I'm here. What's up? All right, we already got the ring on. Now it's time to get to know you. Why did they match us?
Right, are you ready for my next question?
Of course. I'm always ready for a question from you. Seatbelt buckle.
Okay. So I will want to know, what are some reasons that you will not go on a dating show? And what are some shows that you saw that you don't like you would never go on this show?
So I don't like the competition aspect of some shows, like putting all these women or men in one house, and then you're like,
ditto,
legit competing to try to up one on another female to try to, like, this is why you should pick me. I'm here. I'm doing this. No, me, right here. It doesn't, I don't know. For me, it doesn't sit well. It's almost as if, okay, yes, that happens in real life. Of course, like when you're dating someone, there's probably someone else that he's talking to as well. But I don't want to be in the midst of it. Like, I don't want to live with you, and I don't want to compete with you and try to prove myself worthy by trying to up one on you by like, well, you bake cookies, I'm about to bake a cake. Well, she baked a cake, I'm about to go buy him a bakery. Like, what? Girl, he don't even like baking. Calm down. Like, I don't know, just something weird about that. So, like, The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, I don't want men competing over me like that, and I don't want to be the woman.
Or Flavor Flav.
Any of those shows, I wouldn't be trying to compete for Flavor Flav anyway, unless I'm just trying to get some clout. Like, excuse me, I'm just trying to be on TV. If I'm trying to go for Flavor Flav, no, thank you, no, thank you. What was the other show? Dating Naked. I understand the vulnerability of it. I'm not getting to know somebody with no clothes on in the middle of nowhere. Like,
yeah, I don't understand that at all. Like, and then it's going to be on TV, so why? No, thank you. No, thank you. Those I can't even think of a reason why I would want to be on national TV butt naked, or for any of the reasons that you said at all. Like, I agree. I would not want to be on a TV show like that show, a Flavor Flav or a Bachelorette kind of show, because of the same reasons. And yes, in real life, of course, I always assume when I'm talking to somebody that they got somebody else. I don't care if you tell me, no, you're the only one. No, your options are open. We're not monogamous. You're quote unquote still getting to know me, kind of thing. Like, I never put it past anybody. But just for it to all be in my face, I'm not one for that. And then a lot of these shows, I feel like the people that's in competition with one another, they become buddy. Some of it may be real, like, okay, I feel like you cool, we cool, we in this house stuck for a month or whatever. You my friend in the house. But then some of it is fake, because it's like, I gotta try to. I know he likes you and you're one of his favorites, but I gotta kind of like get into like kind of make you screw up and do something so you can't win. Like I got one up on you, kind of what you said, but more of like a, I don't know. It's just it's disgusting. So like what I'm thinking of is like, okay, you know how they have on these shows they have date nights and special things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and the person, the celebrity like Omarion say, okay, I'm gonna go on a date with Yaya tonight,
Wait, out of
and
all the
then
celebrities, you just happen to pick a Marion.
yeah, Omarion.
Uh-huh. Continue.
So I go on my little date with Omarion, and then we come back, but we're not coming back to a house by ourselves. We're coming back to a house full of 20 other girls, and that doesn't mean that he has to be cozied up with me. He might, like Simone might be waiting at the door, for example, and like, oh Omari, I made you a midnight snack, or I set the fire here. Let's go sit by the fire. And to me, it's just like a turn off. Like this is my night. Like this is my night. It was just we could have had the perfect date, and now I'm coming back and this trick trying to like steal the flame. Not calling my best friend a trick, but you know, like the competition part of it. It's like, bro, like, oh, it's just in your face. I just don't want that. Not at all. So that's the competition aspect of it. Just set me up for Love Is Blind or set me up for Married at First Sight, and we good. I don't want. No, I honestly already don't like it in real life. Like just to think there's some other girl that might be out there, but I try to like clear my mind of it and say, okay, you know, just do your part. If he likes you and you like him, it'll fan its way out. If not, then oh well, next person.
Girl, I was
Oh
just
yeah.
watching the show the other day. It's men all in one house and they're competing for this woman so they can have a baby together. It's called Labor of Love. But anywho, one dude plans to like cook this meal for her because he hasn't gone on a one-on-one date yet. So he like, I'm gonna cook her some fried chicken, some greens, probably some mac and cheese too. Can't remember what else he was gonna make. But he was about to give
That's
her
a black
like,
meal right there.
yes, he was about to hook her up. So while he's cooking, another guy knows of his idea that he suspects that he's cool with, and he goes over there and take her some soup that he made while the other dude is in over still at the house cooking. Oh, he was
Oh,
pissed. He was pissed. And he was mad because he like, you knew we talked about this, you knew what I was gonna do, you knew what I had prepared. So but he ended up doing it another time. So while he was on his one-on-one date, by the time she came back, the food was there for her. But it's just part of that aspect that I don't like.
they probably was close friends too. He was like, "Oh, you think she gonna like this? Yeah, she gonna like this. She said she like greens. She said she like hot sauce on her chicken wings. So I'm gonna do this." And then he was like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." Meanwhile, he was like, "I'm gonna make this soup. I'm gonna chop my stuff and have it prepared in advance. So when she come through the door, I got it ready for her to one up." That's exactly what I'm talking about. That competition. No,
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 thank
they
you.
come into those houses and think they friends, and then no, thank you. Nope, not at all.
No, not at all. No, thank you.
I want to ask a question, but I'm thinking about dating shows. So we talked about Flavor Flav,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes me think about some other shows that are old regarding, not regarding, but like shows like Room Raiders, shows like Next, Parental Control, all those things that I think were on like MTV.
Yeah.
Um, which of those shows, if you can be casted on, would you choose to do?
Ooh, okay. I would most definitely go on Room Raiders because I ain't
Okay.
scared. I'm a clean chick. I'm a clean. And then if I had to pick another one, ooh, I would go on Next. You know, the show on MTV where they have the bus full of people, and then after you come off, they would choose to go on a date with you or not, or they'd be like, next.
Like imagine getting off the bus and somebody like you come off all cute or whatever, or and they be like next, like duh, that's like a
You're like,
that's something right
damn.
there.
It wasn't meant to be, but damn.
But
Yeah.
why would you choose though? So you said you're not scared about having somebody rate your room. Why would you say next?
A different spin on dating shows, and I think it'd be something fun to do. Whether I'm on the bus or off the bus, I wouldn't mind doing either. But Room Raiders, I'll put that one at the top because it's a different type of experience in regards to getting to know someone based on what they have, opposed to getting to know them through conversation. So it's like I'm choosing this
Yeah,
person based off what they have in their room, and based off
right.
what I like that they have in their room. So
Or you
um,
don't like.
right. But yeah, room raiders is definitely cool. I will go through the room or I would be rated. I think I'd rather be rated though than actually go
I
through
would
some.
rather be rated too. Yeah, I don't think I would want to go through the rooms and then choose somebody based off of that. But I wouldn't mind like sitting on the little van and watching them go through my room and see what they like and they dislike. But
Right.
if somebody's going through your room, what are some things that you think that they would like? Oh no, hell no, not Simone, not this
Oh,
girl.
some
And what are some things you think they'd be like? Oh yes, I want to get to know this girl.
some
Yes,
hell
yes.
no's. Ooh, okay. Here's some hell no's.
Oh hell no.
To the no, no. So you know how they got the black light? So
Yes.
if someone were to take the black light and put it over my comforter, they'll find
Mm-hmm.
some stains.
Oh,
And they may assume that that it's
there's some
something that
things
it's
on that
not.
bag.
But most likely it's food. It's grease. I've ate on my bed a few times and I might have had some droplets. And the
Probably some
grease,
greasy burgers.
right, greasy, right, greasy burgers, yum yum, uh, that may not have washed out completely because grease is hard to get out.
It
It's
is.
not like it's not a regular stain. So they might do a black light and find some grease, and be like, "Oh my gosh, why is her comforter so dirty?" Actually, my comforter, they'll most likely find a stain or three.
Oh my god.
And then if my trash isn't emptied, I
Oh yeah,
guess
they
if
go through
they
the trash.
right, if they go through my trash, there's a possibility of them finding something that they may not like. Like
Like
I
what?
don't.
We
I
talking
mean, I
about the
guess.
sheep.
I mean, I get. Honestly, I guess it probably depends on that person, but they. I don't. I'm trying to think of what could be in my trash that a person may not like because everyone has their preference. They may be like a soda can in there, or and I don't even drink soda often.
They might see like an old stick of sage and be like, oh, she too in tune with Mother Nature.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I do have sage in my room. They may not like the sage. They may not like the sage. Some people are
They be
not
like,
into that.
she too, she too,
Shoot, they may not.
She too holistic.
Right. Or my fridge. They might not like the food that I have in my fridge. If they catch me at a good time, it'll be full. They might catch my fridge at a bad time. Be like, dang, she not even feeding us. So why she ain't got that in her fridge?
Skinny, skinny.
Unless she like to eat out. But yeah, I have to say my fridge, my garbage, and most definitely my comforter with my grease stains. Things that they would like, I would have to say I have a gift that I got from grad school. This is a large frame with a film reel inside that looks really dope. So they may be interested in that. That have see that I have some type of interest in film in some form or sort. I could be just a lover of films, or I could be involved in that industry. Up to them
Mm-hmm.
to decide. I keep affirmations throughout my entire apartment. So whether it has to do with staying motivated or remembering to breathe, I keep it in the bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, front door on the way out. Life is about not finding yourself, creating yourself, like things like that. So I keep those everywhere as constant reminders to keep myself motivated with positive affirmations. And then I have lots of whiteboards, so they'll get an insight into my schedule. I have two that are blank and one that's a calendar. So it gives what I'm doing on a daily basis and the ideas and the reminders that I have to keep in tune with for my day to day. So that'll definitely give them a much a deep look into my life. My whiteboards, my film reel, and my positive affirmations.
Okay, I think those are all some positive things. Those are all great things for this age too. Like if we were back in a younger part, then I don't know, they might be like looking at your teddy bears that you got, or like some oh she got a thong in her drawer. Oh yeah, she freaky kind of thing like that. But at this age, I think those are all interesting things.
What
If it were
about
me,
you?
I would choose the same show. I would choose definitely not parental control. I don't even think I would be casted for that because I never had anything like situation or boyfriend wise that was um as like dramatic as that. So I wouldn't choose that. But I was wondering like while you're talking, the way that they pick people to be casted for these shows, I wonder if they like say if they like try to put two and two together and say, okay, you like girls that are artistic or girls who are into their studies and things like that. Do they choose those people together and then have them rate the room, or do they just put random people together? That's neither here or there. We don't know. But while you were speaking, that's something that I was thinking about. But for me, okay, so I'll go with the negatives. Someone were to rate my room, I definitely have a mini fridge in my room. That can be a cause for different problems. One of those could be in the middle of the night, I decide to have a little snack, and I leave the little wrapper or whatever on the side of my bed instead of just putting it in the trash can. So on room raiders, they just snatch you out of your room. They don't like call you up and say, "Hey, girl, I'm about to come over to get you." No, like you ain't got no time to clean or nothing. Whatever your room look like is what your room look like. So they might be like, "Oh, she nasty. She got these candy wrappers or open bottles or whatever all over her room." The other thing about the open bottles, I'm grown, so I got wine bottles. I had a pure, not I was about to say pure white Henny, girl. No, Jesus, I
Oh, I'm about to
cannot.
say, when you start drinking
No, see, I can't drink that.
that?
I had honey jack. I had honey jack in my fridge from when my friend was here, and I was like pouring it into my little flask. I think it's a cute flask. My little
Oh, that
flask.
is
It says,
cute.
yeah, it says I'm not as think as you drunk I am. But we were here like pouring those into my flask. So instead of taking it back downstairs, I put it in my fridge. And then sometimes too, like the bottles, not for liquor, like honey jack or something like that, but the wine bottles, a lot of them I buy them because they're so cute. So I did have them like sitting around my room. So if somebody see, because I wanted to like paint them or put sand in there, use it for a base or something like that. So if somebody were to rate my room, they might be like, "Yo, she a lush. I don't want to deal with her. She be drinking kind of thing." So nah, I don't want her. And then right now, guys, we are in quarantine. We're recording this podcast during quarantine. So with quarantine, there's less going out, less hanging out, things like that. So honestly, I've been keeping a quite clean bedroom. But when the world is the world and things are going by normally, I'm the kind of girl who I take out my makeup. The makeup is kind of like all over. I leave the little thing out until like 2 days later when I finally decide to put it back. I got clothes. I'm trying to find. I thought this outfit was cute in my head, but when I put it on, it wasn't it. And now I only got 5 more minutes to be out the door, so I'm throwing stuff out the closet. Like, oh my god, I need to find something else to
Been
wear.
there.
Now it's time to leave. I gotta come back. Jewelry, accessories all over. And I'm like, I'm tired when I come back, so it's still there. So they come ding dong, da da da, trying to drag me out my room during that time
Da-da-da-dum.
before I got to clean up, then that's what they're gonna see. So they might be like, all right, she got junk all over her room, snack paper and everything all over her room. She's probably a lush, and her room is a mess. So those are three things that will definitely possibly be a turn off for somebody who raised my room. Okay, next, things that they. I said next, but I'm not talking about myself. I mean, like the next thing, which would be the positive things that they may see in my bedroom. So, in my bedroom, I have original art. So I like to paint and I like to doodle and stuff. So I have paintings that's in my bedroom, and I also have the paint brushes and acrylic paint like stationed in my room. So they'll see, okay, she's artistic. She likes to paint and things like that, and they might think that's dope. I think they might think it's dope. So yeah, that's one positive thing. Another positive thing is for me, for my vision board, instead of having like typical vision board, which people have things from like magazine clips or positive affirmations or whatever, you glue it to a vision board. I couldn't decide to like just put one board together, so I bought a bulletin board instead, and I like printed things out from the internet and got things from the magazine and clipped those, and instead of just like use a pen to put it on my bulletin board. On that bulletin board, I also have like pictures of my friends on there, positive affirmations, and then I have cards like an index card is on there from when I was in grad school, and then like not like a birthday card, but kind of like that style, like a birthday card, but it was more like it says you're like really pretty. So basically, I went to like a girls' night, and we passed the card around, and everyone wrote something about whoever card that was. So basically, whoever's rating my room, they can read those things and see, like get a gist of what my characteristics or positive things might be about me that other people wrote.
Oh,
If
that's
they have their
nice.
like, yeah, it says like from Sam or from Eddie or from Jessica, whoever these people are that wrote something about me, so they can say, okay, these are things that her friends said about her. So, if you want to know more about me, opposed to, because you can't see pictures, so it's just like, okay, get a feel for who this person is. And then the last thing I would say that's positive would be on that bulletin board, I have money from Canada and I have money from Thailand. So from that person will say, oh, she likes to travel, not just to travel to New York or travel to Florida, but she travels. So if he's into that, or if he's not into that, he might think that's dope. So yeah, so I have the artistic part, I have the positive notes from friends, and I have the money that highlights that I am into travel.
Okay, world traveler. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up.
Yeah. If you can create your own dating show, what will the aspects of your show be, Moni? I mean, because you're a
Ooh.
film or whatever, so I'm expecting something good from you.
Oh, that's a good question. I need to think for a moment.
Think about it,
Okay,
girl.
wait. Okay, so I would probably do a mix of a revamp uh with something original because I don't know if you remember this show, but it's called The Dating Game. It's where you had like three potential suitors and then one person on the other side. There was a wall in between, and they would ask a series of questions to Bachelor 1, 2, or 3 or Bachelorette 1, 2, or 3 as a way to get to know them. And based off the answers that they like the most, that's the person that won the date. But I would take the dating game aspect and literally turn it into a game because I'm a big ass kid and I love the aspect of games. Weird because I don't like the competition aspect, but I wouldn't see it as that because it would more so be like, just a it's like I choose you for this first date and then we're gonna go do something active opposed to being at dinner and drinks, which is so blasé and like typical. Like we're gonna play like some type of basketball game, we're gonna go rock climbing or something, just something physical and active to see how much they would be interested in doing something that I like doing. You know what I'm saying? In regard to somebody that I would want to potentially date. So combining that with some type of like physical activity, don't know what I would call it, but um, ideally, I would go on 3 different dates. I would just based off the answers to the questions who would go on each date. So that's what I have in my head right now. We can go back
Okay.
to this later and see if I actually fine tune it.
I don't have a specific show. Like, I don't know. It's just thinking about it's kind of difficult to do. But I know for me, like when I think about dating, and even when I try dating around now, I have like a tendency of going online and checking my horoscope. And I even remember, like, just to like, okay, see if we in sync or whatever. What's going on with me during that time? And two, I don't know if you knew this, but I did go to a psychic before.
Oh, you told me this story. I remember.
Yeah, so I went to a psychic back in 2016 when I had a breakup with a nuthead before. And then I went again, I think it was 2018 or 17 when I was in DC with PC. Sorry, y'all. I get excited when things rhyme. But when we went there, it was just like tarot cards, all big. Align your chakras, stuff like that, and it kind of pulled us in. But so what I'm saying is, I'm into that kind of stuff. I haven't gone in a while, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to play with that kind of right now. But I was able to create a dating show, Married at First Sight and Love Is Blind. I would kind of mix those together. So I love the aspect of Married at First Sight, having the experts help piece together people. But I would like add more. So instead of this one person and this one person will be together, and then they'll either be together or not. Maybe I'll have these three, and these three will probably mix together and then have it like a Love Is Blind kind of thing. And then whoever wins that part of it or lasts throughout that part, then those two people will be the quote unquote married at first sight part. But with the marriage counselor, the psychologist, and the sociologist, I believe they were, I would add a psychic, or like a tarot card reader, somebody like that, like a somebody that's into like auras and all those kind of things. Because if you know me personally, you know that I am a fiend for Housewives of Atlanta. And I believe her name was Ruth. Kim Zolciak kept going to this psychic, Ruth. And everything that Ruth was saying, like, You're gonna meet a fine guy. You're gonna end up getting married. You're gonna have 2 kids, and she ended up having twins, and she was like, you're gonna have another kid, like all this stuff, everything that Ruth was saying came to fruition for Kim. And then I remember there was a show like Long Island Median or something like that, and she was like, in tune with the spirits and things like that. And then when Candy went to Kenya, or they went to Africa, somewhere they went, and then the man was like playing with the rocks and stuff. He was like a spiritual kind of person, and Candy was like, I ain't getting married. None of that stuff is happening for me. Just tell me whatever. I don't really care about this stuff. And he was like, yes, you will get married. Yes, I see it in your future. And they were like, oh, you talking about Phaedra? And they was like, no, not for you. Or was it Marlo or somebody? He like played her or whatever. It's like, yeah, you talking about Candy. He is with you. She was like, what? He is with me. But it was an all girls trip. Come to find out, it was Todd. Todd was behind the cameras during that time, and he was saying that Candy was going to end up with Todd. And everybody knows now that Todd is married with Candy. So
that is true.
yeah,
that is true.
Like adding that aspect of it to all the professionals and things, and then instead of like off the bat we're married, give it some time beforehand and like kind of like filter out and stuff. I think that would be a perfect show. That's what I would do. So, because remember earlier I said I'm in it for the long haul. I don't want anybody that's just going to be my bae or boo for a few months and then we over. I do that on a regular. Like help me help myself to get the love of my life, and let's start this love together.
Love of my life.
Yeah, that would be my show, girl.
We can go ahead and slide on into the next section.
All right, so the next section, boo boo.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
All right, so what's your scenario for us, Moni?
All right, so for those of you that watched Married at First Sight on the last season, there was a couple by the name of Iris and Keith.
Oh, I love them.
I know, I did too. Thought they were going to make it work, but unfortunately they did not, which is why they are on our topic for the scenario. So, Iris came on the show looking for the man of her life. Keith came on looking for the woman of his life. At least we hope that's the case. And Iris was a virgin, y'all. Like, never had sex, 27-year-old virgin, somewhere around that age bracket. And she was ready to give away what she possessed to the man of her dreams. Now, of course, with them getting married right off the bat, of course she wasn't going to have sex right away because she still has that time in between where she needs to get to know him, just like, some people usually do. Like when you start the dating process, you get to know someone, you get to filter out whether or not, you're going to have sex with this person. And as far as like being on the show with the cameras always being around, you have like that extra layer of hesitancy in regards to what you say and what you do. Which could also like bring
television, bro. Like
exactly. Forming some type of anxiety around the relationship that you're trying to build. So in their case, from Keith's perspective, it was like, oh, she's sexually immature. And then from her perspective, it's almost like, you have to give me some time in regards to be ready to that. I'll be ready at some point, but I really want to make this work. And I feel like with Keith choosing not to stay married to her in the end, I don't think he fully, gave 110%. I'm like, even if they waited until like the cameras went off to actually see like where they could go with it, because throughout the process, Iris did start to open up just a little bit more in regards to being vulnerable. Yeah. And definitely from the perspective of a virgin, like that's something that you hold sacred in regards to giving that away. Right. I'm not sure if he was understanding 100% of that, regardless of whether she was sexually immature or not. There were still aspects of her that were very mature. Mm-hmm. And that was just something that she was going to have to grow into, which what she wanted to do with her husband. I feel like I just wish there was a way that they could have made that work. They were so cute, and they meshed well. I feel like if she wasn't a virgin, that relationship would have worked.
Undeniably, yeah. Aside from the fact that I think that Keith possibly came on this show for clout, because I did check his IG page and I saw like a lot of things about music. So I was like, I started to question, like, are these people coming on these shows because they want to be a model or get their music out there, whatever it is, get some followers. But I was really like hoping that they would have pushed through all of this because they made such an adorable couple. Their wedding was so beautiful, y'all. Like, oh my God, like oh, I'm shaking like the I'm shake right now. It was so cute until the mom was like, "Oh, you got a pure white dress." Oh, and then she went to keep. Did you notice anything about her dress? It's white, white. Do you know what that means? She's a virgin. Then it was like, dun, 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 like in the show. But I did see, like, I was able to see where Keith was coming from, as far as like her being kind of immature about the situation, and like if he would touch her, she's like, eh, like kind of being a little extra. Like, girl, like you 27, we know you've been touched, especially when they were on a hammock. He was like, so you like a virgin, or you a virgin? She was like, I mean, kind of, I did think so. I'm thinking like maybe she like her booze from the past probably played the piano. They did some oral surgeon things on each
Girl,
other.
not played the
Played
piano.
the
Oh my
piano.
God. I love how you eloquently put that.
Yes, like played the piano, had some oral little surgeries, checked out things or whatever with one another. She probably did something, but she didn't. There was no penetration. I was just like, especially when they were getting ready to move into their first apartment together,
Mm-hmm.
and she came in and was helping Keith pack, and then she saw this. Y'all, it was probably like a 15 box of condom. She was like, "Oh my god, he had a 100 box or 200 box of condoms, and it was on 3 left." Like, bruh, first of all this stuff happened, Iris, before he even met you, before he even probably signed up for the show. So it's not like he's cheating on you. I just think she, like, if y'all watch it back, she was like really, really exaggerating, and she just kept going on at it, like nitpicking about it, even as far as like when the friends came over and they went in the fridge and was like pouring out their juice. She was like, "That's me and Keith's juice. That was our juice. Da-da-da-da. They just eating the box stuff." Da-da-da-da-da. And like he was like, "Calm down. Those my friends, those my family. They know that if they come to my house, whatever's mine is theirs, and vice versa." And then
Right.
she just kept going on with it and wouldn't let it go. That's my that's what makes me upset with Iris. But aside from that, remember we said there were experts with the show, so they knew that a big problem was, quote unquote, a big problem was Iris's virginity, and that was brought up because the experts are seeing the footage of what's going on, and whenever they see something is bothering a couple, because Keith did make it known, okay, her virginity is kind of bothering me, but I think I could be okay with this kind of thing. They've made up some activities for them to do together, like I think they had like a card game, and then with certain things, like she had to like let him touch her on a leg, up a thigh, splash the breast, things like that. And she was just like shut down, like closed to it. And I could see, okay, he'd get upset with that. But then they had another activity where she went out and bought like some little candy that he can use and put on her wherever she wanted, like behind the ear or on her collarbone, on her inner thigh, whatever, to like make it a little sensual. And he liked that. But at the end of it, y'all, he was just like, nah, like it wasn't enough. And I was just like, come on. Like I really want to know, like, if the cameras were not there, would things have turned out differently? Because I can only imagine. Like, I remember me and Simone's first photo shoot for LoveLoudd. I was just like so shy. Like, I thought I was gonna be out there having so much fun, and Simone had to like get me really comfortable with the camera. So just like it's one thing to live your regular life, but to live all that and it's panning out on camera, especially sex, like intimacy, all these things on
Mm-hmm.
camera. I just wish they could have, just said, okay, we'll give it a try and see how things are gonna go. Aside from this,
With the with the cameras gone. Try it with the cameras gone if you feel like there's something there. But I guess no point if you're not really into it.
yeah.
All right, and what's the next scenario, darling?
The next scenario will be for a couple named Damien and Gianna. And correct me if I'm wrong. I believe they came from Love Is Blind with the dating pods.
Yes.
Yes. So, the reason why I want to bring this couple up is because, on this show, I forget what the time period was, but I believe like the dating pods were maybe about 2 weeks, and then within that time, if you match with somebody, you go on longer. Like if you decide to propose, you come out the pods, you're engaged now, and then you go on a vacation together, into real life together, things like that. So when you're doing these shows, you're away from your real life. You are wherever they house you at. You're not going to work. You're not having your cell phones. All those things are taken away. there was one episode where Damien and Gianna were away having a beautiful little yacht cruise together, and Gigi came out of the pool. Damien's laying on the front of the yacht, getting his little suntan or whatever, but he looked like he was like his mind was not there. He looked bothered. So Gigi, being the new fiance to him, is like rubbing on him like, "What's wrong? You know, open up. Tell me what's going on." He would not open up. She kept trying to crack the ice, whatever. He would not open up to her. So finally, he opens up, but he's like opening up like really like aggressive, like, I'm on this show. I put everything, on ice. I don't know if when I go back home, if I'm coming back to a job, I put my job on the line. I put this on the line. I don't know what I have, kind of thing. And she's like trying to warm him up, but like if you put your whole world at pause to go on a dating show, and you don't even know if you're coming out of this dating show with something significant, that can be freaky. Like your whole livelihood, all the money that you make to make ends meet, is like you possibly losing that when you return back home. That's scary. So that's why I wanted to talk about this too, because it's like, all right, yeah, I will be open maybe at, like I said earlier, 34, 35 to sign up for a dating show. Shoot, probably earlier. I don't know what life gonna bring to me, but the scary part is like if I sign up for this show, I gotta take time off of work. And currently at my job right now, I only get 15 days. I don't get a whole month, which is what some of these shows need you to do, to put in a whole month of vacation time or whatever personal time that you're going to use. So am I going to risk my job and everything that I have to sign up for this dating show? And how could that impact me? And then, like I said about what Damien was saying, if I leave this show with nobody, then what did I even risk it for? Bless you, boo boo. What did I even risk it for? So that I can I can empathize with him. That's scary as hell. Like I don't even know like what I'm gonna have when I return. But then the other factor is too that I thought about. What if I do all of this? Like what if my job says, okay, I save up 2 months break for vacation time and I take the time off and go away to find the love of my life. And then now I come back to work, I'm working, and all of a sudden somebody come in and say they have to have a talk with me, and I lose my job because they're like, yeah, we saw that show that you were on, and it's not a good look for our agency. It doesn't look good for you as, working with us. So it was cute, but we gotta let you go for the grace of our company. Like, bruh, like,
right. Like, wait, hold on.
Because of the image of your company, like, bruh, like, what the heck? That would be detrimental. I just can't.
A lot that you have to consider in relationships, as well as when you go on these dating shows. It's kind of like you got to weigh the pros and cons of what could and what could not be. So it's definitely a lot of anxiety that goes into that.
Definitely.
Oh Lord, you got to be prepared.
But did you like Gigi and Damien? They left the show, ended up not married.
I believe they're actually dating. Please correct me wrong. I think they're dating now. Like I think because the thing with Love is Blind is you start off blind, end up engaged, going through the honeymoon phase, and then at the end of it, you find out whether or not you stay together at the altar. Mm-hmm. If you say I do or I don't. And he chose he chose to tell her that he didn't want to continue to be in the relationship with her based off where it had been going, which I can respect. At least he understood, what he wanted and wanted to try and have the opportunity to explain to her exactly what he meant from that. Because I know after that, she was heartbroken. I don't even think he completely got out what he wanted to say before she ran out of that room. It was across the street in a parking lot on her hands and knees in the dirt. Like she was, and it was heartbroken because she really wanted to make it work. And I know he probably wanted to make it work too, but I think in that moment, as far as those circumstances, they needed to have a conversation in regards to where they were and why they couldn't go into marriage at that time and talk about what they need to work on. Because as of now, they're actually dating. They seem to be happy. Yeah. And I'm excited for them in regards to where the relationship could actually go, and them growing together, because they definitely had a lot of potential in their relationship. So shout out to Damien and Gigi.
Yeah, but I think that couple, like, to be honest, when I was watching it, part of me was like, please just make it through, because a lot of other couples weren't making it through. But then at the same time, I was like, please be realistic. Like, this is your real life. So they kept, like, for real, they kept arguing over and over about different things. And I think it was like a lot of pressure, like this is all really happening too soon for us. And they didn't really get that chance to date. But I think it was mature of them to decide, okay, we don't need to get married right now. I need to like pan back a little bit and get to know you before we jump the gun and go straight from meeting one another to getting married. And when I think of myself, to be honest, like sometimes when I meet people, I get a little bit excited, and that's something that I'm working on. Like, I get a little bit excited. I start to think about like, ooh, that's my man kind of thing, or like, is he having kids, stuff like that. And I don't want to think like that. And I will hope that when I go on a show, that I can be realistic with myself and say, just because the experts put us together, that doesn't mean that he may be my husband. Maybe they looked over something, or maybe we don't quite fit too well. So I hope that I can be mature enough to make that decision and not just say yes because my whole family's looking at me now. And like a lot of them was like, it kind of felt like the pressure of my family was telling me I'm done for going on this show. So if I say no, they're going to be right. And if I say yes, am I really saying yes for the right reason? So I hope that, I'm glad that Damien was able to say no. Because like he did not look comfortable at all saying no to her. But he went with, what he felt, which was great.
Right. You have to trust, you got to say what you mean to mean what you say. Alrighty, and without further ado, this episode is coming to a close. But before we go, we have a few announcements for you. The first one being our July question of the month. We want to know what's on your bucket list. Give us your top 3. If you have more than that, we'd love to know what it is. But we want to know your top 3 things on your bucket list. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? If you answer on the website as a member in the Truth Carpet group section, you'll be entered to win a LoveLoudd pin as well as a bookmark. So don't hesitate. Let us know what's on your bucket list.
Yes. Along with that, I want to say you can check out our responses on our YouTube page. Every month we're going to have a different question, and we're going to respond to those questions, and we would love to hear your responses too. So like Simone said, you respond to that, you can be entered to win. Every month we have a different prize that we give out to our subscribers. So just make sure you stay tuned.
And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is LoveLoudd, LoveLoudd. If you don't use 2 Ds, you will not be able to find us because we're special. And you have to use 2 Ds or it won't be us.
Right.
So yes, LoveLoudd on YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like on the things that you see. We would like to say thank you so much to everyone that has supported us so far. Please let us know what you think about our very first podcast episode, a continuation of our Truth Carpet segue from Instagram.
Yes, girl, yes. I just want to say the 2 Ds are important not because we're special, but bruh, like how's my last name Love and your last name is Loud with 2 Ds? That's dope, bruh. So
it was meant to be. It was inevitable.
Yes.
Okay? That's why we were placed into each other's lives for this creation of love and loud with 2 Ds.
So we're really a self-named duo.
Alrighty, thank you, and we'll be seeing you on our next podcast, y'all.
Bye.